Happy Saturday, First Congregational friends. I hope you had a blessed Holy Week and Easter. And this coming weekend, we have a lot in store. This is definitely not a coming off of Easter, but rather a continuing the Easter experience in terms of the specialness of worship and continuing the story with Jesus' last breakfast, the breakfast the disciples experienced with Jesus post-resurrection, which leads to the Bible trivia question this week. When Jesus first encountered them, or when they first encountered Jesus, that is, they were out fishing, the disciples, and he told them to fish on the other side of the boat, and they caught a number of fish. They actually give the number. So what is that number? You'll find out at the end. You'll find out a little more this weekend. But also this weekend, our youth are on a retreat. So they're absent the church sanctuary, but they're not absent from the church. Avron and Mark Lindbergh both are accompanying our youth in Lincoln City for a time of spiritual reflection, conversation, and a little play as well. In fact, they have a special message for us right here.
Love from Ohana Youth!
So please keep them in your prayers. Now, as to Sunday morning, it'll start off at 9 a.m. with the adult ed class led by our own Deb Ball, who is well practiced in Buddhism and was going to be sharing insights from Buddhism. You'll find a lot of overlaps from Christianity and also some creative tensions. And so come and join her for that talk. Worship will commence at 10 a.m. with a mission moment by Gene Stover and Karen Isaacson on our Parkside homes. It's been a while since we had an update. What's going on with those homes that sit on the property which we donated to help less fortunate people in Eugene. So we'll be receiving an update, and also Karen will be joining the Women's Fellowship at 6:30 p.m. for a deeper dive on that. So come back to church at 6:30 for much more information on what's going on with those homes and the whole context. Now, the jazz service itself will be very, very special. It was meant to really be not a come down from Easter, but really a carrying forward of that energy. I mentioned on Sunday that I have led jazz worship in 2 different churches over 22 of my 30 years of ministry. So I'm kind of brushing up on my jazz style of preaching, which is different than my normal style. And I think an incredible experience of scripture, reflection, and music, all that lead us deeper into this mysterious story in John's gospel. Vicki Brabham, of course, will be joining us on piano, along with a number of her friends, including Dean Lively Brooks on bass, and also then on drums, Keenan Elder, on saxophone, John Naher, and on trombone, Glenn Griffith. So we've got quite an ensemble planned as well, and you'll be experiencing a special form of Taizé during this at different parts of this service as well. We can't call it Taizé legally, but it follows a Taizé style, except in a jazz idiom, which is really fun and goes really deep and hits deep in here. So anyway, I can't wait to share this experience with you and share in this experience with you. Finally, in your bulletin, you'll find an insert that looks like this. This is a sign-up for small groups that will be starting in our new series on April 26th called The Four Bows, which explores meditation and prayer. How do we enrich our connection with the divine using insights from mystical Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism? The Four Bows meditation technique is one that I have found incredibly useful in my own daily spiritual journey. And small groups will have a chance to experience meditating together and kind of dissecting their experience. And there's nothing like meditating and praying in with others over an extended period that has an energy to it that just it seldom happens in solo prayer. I cannot recommend this highly enough. We have 4 groups meeting from Sunday right after church through Thursday. So hopefully you'll find a spot that you can join. Well, as to the Bible trivia question, the number of fish that the disciples are said to have caught at the last breakfast, 153. Why they gave that exact number? Well, you can tell they're fishermen, but there may be other reasons. A couple of ideas I'll share on Sunday. This will be a great day to bring a friend.